Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Show. 2 NBA games here on Thursday night. Going to be running through the matchup data, the insights, everything that you need here. Doing a deep dive using Props Madness as always as well. So happy to go through each and every one of these props with you guys. Happy to show you some projections. Happy to be up almost 7 units on the season after 2 days of NBA action. I'm just pumped to be here talking about hoop with y'all. Got some more bets for you guys. Going to be able to get you into the VIP on landyourbets.com for a free month once again, if anybody's interested. So that all sounds good. Give this video a like. Let's get right into it. Injury report news for this Oklahoma City and Indiana Pacers game. Little rematch of the finals. Not going to be the same. No Tyrese Halliburton, but also here on OKC. No Jalen Williams, no Alex Caruso, no Isaiah Joe, no Kenrich Williams. Lou Dort is a game time decision. Kason Wallace is a game time decision. This is not fun. This is the NBA in day 3. We're so back. We're just so back with all of these injuries. TJ McConnell is out as well. So we got to look at what that's going to mean for each of these teams. Let's start with the lineups. We've got on offense, starting with the Thunder and how I think the Pacers are going to guard this Oklahoma City team. You see Wallace and Dort, they started in game 1. Now they're questionable. I don't know who's gonna really step up or who's going to be playing for either of them. If neither of them play, man, Aaron Wiggins to the moon. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then Holmgren and Hartenstein still going to get the double bigs in there. Defending them, Nembhard on SGA. We saw that all playoffs, all finals. Mathurin, I believe, will be on Kason and Siakam on Dort. And that means Nesmith is on Holmgren. That could switch. It could be Siakam on Holmgren, Nesmith on like Cade, whomever. I'm not positive yet. If Aaron Wiggins starts, we probably see Nesmith on Aaron Wiggins, right? So there's a lot of moving parts here, but the key is Nembhard is on SGA, and then Jay Huff on Isaiah Hartenstein. That'll definitely be the matchup. The other way, when you have the Pacers on offense, I do see OKC putting Holmgren on Huff, starting down there at the bottom, and then Hartenstein on Siakam. I think they want Holmgren to play that rim protector role, sag off, guard Steven Adams like he did in game 1, guard guys who are not threats on offense so that he can just be that help defense and then can get those sort of weak side rebounds as well, since he's not going to really be sticking too closely to his man. And then everything else is pretty self-explanatory. I think the positions guard themselves. But let's look at what I was talking about here when we've got Nembhard, Siakam, Mathurin. Those are the 3 key guys on offense that I want to target right now and talk about how they played last year when they're all 3 on the floor together without Tyrese Halliburton. So all these numbers are all 3 of these dudes playing at the same time without Tyrese Halliburton. Starting with Nemby here, 17 points per 36 minutes, 4 boards, 9 assists. That's all per 36. If you give him about 32 minutes in this game as the starting PG, then you probably have him at about 15 points, 3 boards, 7.5 assists. That's the projection for him. He's listed at about 6.5 dimes right now. We'll talk about what we like with him when we pull up Props Madness. Pascal, same situation here, 25, 7, and 5. Really good numbers when he's playing without Halliburton with those other 2 guys. And the assists stand out to you. We targeted assists for him in the finals when we knew that he was going to be somebody that was going to be relied upon to handle the ball more. I think he's going to handle the ball more in this game. And I think assists will probably be a look for him this season, depending on how high the prop line is. And Mathurin, it's like, put up or shut up at this point. A lot of us like Mathurin. He's a good dude in addition to a good player, and is going to be able to bring it as far as going to the rim. We'll see about his 3-point shot. That's the key here. Is he going to be able to hit that spot up or off the dribble shot? Because it's a little bit spotty, and it's as his athleticism, ability to get to the rim and the free throw line that make you like him to get this 20 points. He's at about 18.5. So everybody is expecting him in the market to be this good. We might have an edge on the boards. That's what we should talk about here. But I think it's important to pull up here how SGA does when he plays without Jalen Williams. I don't really think it matters to talk about who he's on the floor with. When he is on the floor with Hartenstein and Chet without J-Dub, his points go down a bit. He's probably closer to about 29 points per 36 minutes. The assists stay at about 7 and the boards stay really high as well. I think that'll be the case in this game. RA, still a pretty good look for SGA once again. Quick look here. Like I said, really nice record to start the season in the NBA here. 11-4, plus 6.8 units. Nice little ROI, up about 50%, 73% win percentage. So this is going to be up, and this is free. You don't have to have any sort of subscription to see the bets. The bet recaps are going to be down here as well as soon as I start getting those up as well. So you can see how we did the night before and whatnot, and look at the specific bets. And then I do want to point out, if you need the projections, this is a subscription package, but these things are going to be fire. I really trust the minutes that we have projected for everybody as much as anything. And that's the key here. And that leads to the rest of these projections. Like, we already have everything up for the next bunch of games. So I would definitely recommend checking this out over on landyourbets.com. All right, let's dive into Props Madness, #1 sports betting research tool. Love showing you guys this stuff for matchup data and the like. This is going to be the #1 spot to come. If you want to use this platform, sign up using code LYB. That'll get you your first month 25% off. You can also get a 7-day free trial. Test it out, see if you like it. But this is what we're using on the show, as you know. And one quick shout out to Pips and the guys. They're now showing you players who are not lined yet. So none of these players have lines, but they pull them up so that you can see and use their research tools even though these players don't have lines. For people like me who are trying to get ahead of stuff and look at research before lines even come up, this is beautiful. So shout out to the gang. Really, really appreciate that. We're not going to have that many props for the OKC Thunder. We know that because we're waiting on who's going to play, right? There's just everybody and their mama is questionable right now or already out. But on the side of the Pacers here, a couple of things I did want to look at with you guys, and then I will talk about Aaron Wiggins because we can talk about him again. In fact, let me just start with him because I love him in this game. We got Caruso out. We got Wallace and Dort both questionable. We already have Isaiah Joe out. Like, I love him to come in and do big work in this game. If you look at Aaron Wiggins last year, let's just do this without J-Dub, and let's also do it without Caruso. That's who I care about here. Without those guys, boom, right? And these are all with Shea as well, by the way. You can see here at the bottom, SGA is available for all of, except for one, like 2 of these games. Everything else, really nice numbers. That 41-pointer against the Kings, I think you're going to see him play 25 to 30 minutes in this game, and that's what we need from Aaron Wiggins to feel good about his numbers. So love calling him out right away because just every guard that could play here for the Thunder looks like they may not play. So let's go down the line here. Pascal, I told you I was looking at potentially his assists. I still like him in every way, shape, and form, man. The assists are high. That is 4.5 is where you kind of lose me. Even at the plus money, not sure if I'll be taking this. I actually don't mind 3.5 juiced for him. I do think he's going to be somebody that's going to be expected to ball handle a ton. Like I said, that is why I think they don't want, I should say, to have Chet on him. I think they want Chet off ball to be able to help onto Pascal Siakam. The rebounds, 7.5. I think that's fair. I would consider the PRA above everything. If we can get this at like 30, 29.5 tomorrow, I'm hoping that this gets bet down a bit before I go try to bet it for him. But the PRA at 29.5 or 30.5, even if you can get it, I like that for him in this matchup. We saw him do work like that in the finals. Benedict Mathurin, man, this is tough. The 6.5 rebounds is like, I thought I was the only one looking at this, but apparently others like the Mathurin rebounds as well. I was hoping we were going to see 4.5. I'm out my damn mind because it's 6.5, even though you get the plus money. It's not, I don't know if I can get there with it. This is what I was talking about with the threes. I don't trust him with the threes. I don't think he really wants to shoot the threes. So I'm not really there with it yet on the 1.5, even though you look at a guy like Mathurin, you're like, his usage is going to be high. He's got to be able to hit 2 threes when he's on the court for 32 minutes. You'd think, but I just don't think that's going to be the case. He's not a pure shooter. He likes to get to the rim. This is the guy. So I guess to finish the point here, I'm a wait and see on Mathurin. Let's see what happens when he is the dude, and if that's going to mean that he is good. By the dude, I mean the #1 ball handling scorer that you expect to be able to get his own shot and score. Not sure if I'm there with it yet. Neesmith is a guy that I really want to bet on his threes. They got it up at 2.5. I think I'm savvy here, but it's just like, dang, man, I thought we were going to get 1.5, like minus 130. And I'd be down to take that for Neesmith because I think he's going to keep being that corner shooter that they need. But I just don't know if we can get there with Neesmith on the threes at this point. And 14.5, it's like, man, if we look at him without Tyrese Halliburton, this offense is so sort of just like versatile, right? It's so easy for guys to just step in and fill a specific role that Coach Rick Carlisle sets up for them, that his numbers don't do much without Tyrese Halliburton, right? It's not like that stuff goes up a ton for him. If we look at the stuff for Mathurin, that's a little different. If we look at the stuff for Siakam, that's a little different. Nembhard, Siakam, and Mathurin. Those are the 3 guys. That's why I showed you their numbers. You expect them to be able to score without Halliburton. I'm just waiting to see on Benny Matz. But for Aaron Neesmith, the points, it's just not there for me. And because he's always going to be guarding one of the best players on the other team alongside Nembhard, I'm really never going to suggest his boards or Nembhard's boards when he's playing against good competition where he's guarding good players, right? Same concept for Nembhard. For Nembhard, it's going to be the assists. That's what I like because I don't trust him in the regular season scoring points, even when Halliburton is out. He's just not that dominant of a player. He's not looking to get those shots off that consistently. He plays within the offense, which everybody does. So there's really nobody on this team that I'm going to like too much, but I think Siakam is the guy, like I said, PRA. I'm going to target him in game 1 because I feel like I know what I'm going to get from him, and I think we're going to keep getting a little bit of a bump in those dimes. On the other side here, as far as Chet and Hartenstein go, they both played like 37, 39 minutes over in game one there. Chet did work. We liked him, talked about him in the episode the other night as well. He did very well, obviously, in that first game. The rebounds, not as much, but I think the rebounds would be where I'd go. It's just I wanted 7.5, like minus 120. So I don't know if I can get there with that either. I'm probably at this point a little bit of a stay away from Chet, although the points would be where I'd go if I go over 17.5. He should be about 17.5 points per game this season. That's kind of where I have him. If he takes a little bit of a leap, good for him. But we need to wait and see on this game anyway for the starters and who's going to be playing. So we'll come back to it, I'm sure, at least on LandryBets.com. Let's dive into this Dubs game, though. Before we do that real quick, want to remind you, Novig is the sportsbook of the week on LandryBets.com. If you're interested in jumping into Novig, use code LYB. If you do sign up for Novig or any of the sportsbooks listed in the description of the video, I'll go ahead and get you a free month on LandryBets.com so that you can go ahead and check out everything on the site, like the projections and the bets. And I do want to make sure you know, Novig is not a regular sportsbook. It's a sportsbook exchange. So you can go ahead and bet against other peers on this site. It's not just you against the book, it's you against other people. You can take their stuff, use it as you see fit, right? Bet against them, set your own lines, and have them bet against you. So really recommend checking out Novig. If you sign up and use code LYB, hit me up, support@landyourbets.com. That's the email address to let me know you signed up using that code, and I'll go ahead and get you that free month on the website. The Dubs come into this game healthy after their first nice win over the Lakers the other night. It's the Nugs here that are hurt. They got the injury nug, it looks like. But Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, Jokic, might have heard of them playing for the Nuggets recently. They are all game time decisions right now, questionable. I think Jokic plays. Jokic doesn't miss, but I don't know. I don't know with the other two. That's kind of been their calling card for a minute now, is we just don't really know. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But let's assume they start. Let's put the Denver Nuggets on offense to kick things off and look at how we think the Dubs here are going to match up with the Nuggets. Pods on Murray, Kuminga on Brown. That's how I see this, because Kuminga started, right? And we're going to talk about how the Warriors here are going to play a lot of guys, and they're going to play them all pretty close in minutes. Kuminga started, so shout out him because he looked awesome. I will do that. I have been a detractor for him. He looked awesome. I think he's going to be on Christian Brown. That makes the most sense. Curry probably on Cam Johnson, because I don't think you want Curry on Brown, and I don't think you want Curry on Jamal Murray. But Cam Johnson's going to be standing. I mean, look, he curls, he comes around screens. They're going to run some stuff for him because Curry's there. But, as far as like putting Curry on an island, like he knows what he's about. He's going to be on Cam Johnson, Butler on Gordon, Green on Joker. Good luck, as we know. So a lot of guys helping off probably. I might be looking at some Aaron Gordon if he does play. Aaron Gordon points look good to me when you consider the help that Draymond is going to need from guys like Jimmy Butler coming and helping off of his guy. On defense for the Nuggets, you're going to have Christian Brown on Steph Curry, chasing him around. You're going to have Murray on Pods, not a bad matchup for Pods. And then Gordon and Butler, I think, is the matchup there because Gordon, much better defender. You might see Gordon on Kuminga, depending on what they think. But Butler, I mean, he leading scorer last game was awesome for them. He's looking like Jimmy Butler, the sort of Heat Jimmy Butler that we know, right? So I would expect the best defender, Aaron Gordon, to be on him. Cam on Jonathan Kuminga. Cam's a pretty good defender, too. That's a pretty good matchup. And then Jokic and Green. We'll see that. Jokic just wants to sag off, so maybe Draymond tries to take some threes in this game. That would be an angle that I'd be looking at. This year, game notes, I just want to give you a couple quick things of how I see these two teams playing. Denver looking to play fast, so keep that in mind. I think the pace is going to stay high for Denver, and I do think that they're going to look to put up a bunch of points this season. They got the defense, but they know they can run teams out the gym because they have a bench, finally. And speaking of benches, the Dubs played 10 guys the other night. They're back to their strength in numbers way of playing, right? And if you look at this box score from the Dubs versus the Lakers in game one, 35 minutes for Jimmy, 33 for Kuminga, 32 for Steph, and 33 for Pods. Everybody else played anywhere from like 12 to 28 minutes, right? Draymond played the 28. He had 5 fouls. That's why he's always playing fewer minutes than full. But Buddy played 22, Horford 20, Gary Payton second 12, and Will Richard is the rook that's going to get some time for them. They love this dude on defense, and he is not a liability on offense either. 2 for 2 from the field, hit his lone 3. You're going to keep remember the name Will Richard. He's going to keep playing for this squad. But let's jump into Props Madness and talk about some of the players I'm looking at. Let's start it off with Steph Curry. I think he's probably might be an over in this one. Like, it's not an awesome matchup with the way Christian Brown is going to be chasing him all over the floor for the whole game, but I think he purposefully did not do much in this last game in terms of shots and everything. If we're looking at this for the game one of the season, 23 points on 9 threes, but 14 shots. Always going to be taking the threes. 14 shots. That's what this Warriors team wants Steph Curry to be doing. They don't want him shooting 21 times and forcing a win by just pulling them through, right, with his threes. They want him able to sort of play off ball, have other guys step up. Jonathan Kuminga took a bunch of shots. He took 11, only 2 fewer than Steph in this game, had a lot of touches. That's what they want. But this is the Nuggets, and I'm sure they want to beat the Nuggets at home. I would guess that Steph is going to be doing a bit more shooting. It's just still, I think 24.5 is going to be where he lives this season. So I don't feel like I have much edge on it. Kind of wish I would have gone under 26.5. It's just that Lakers defense is so terrible. I don't know how you get there with it. 4.5 threes, that's what it is, man. You want to bet on Steph Curry, you got to take him to get 5 threes. And I would say plus 105 is actually the best odds we've seen for Steph Curry threes at 4.5 in the last year or two. And that's because, like I said, the others and the strength in numbers is what you want. Makes it difficult to bet on this Golden State Warriors team. They're going to play really good defense. I don't think there's going to be that many points in a lot of their games. I think they'll score more at home. That's what we've seen in the last couple of years for them. Is they definitely score more at home. But, man, I don't know. I don't like the idea of 24.5 just yet. We'll see. Nuggets playing fast does impact this, but Jimmy, it could be Jimmy one night and Steph the next, right? Jimmy took 14 shots, but look at the free throws, 16 free throws, because he's just looking at DeAndre Ayton and whoever else the Lakers are trying to trot out on defense that suck and going, yeah, let me get that. I'll get all of that. I'm salivating, right? Getting to the free throw line 16 times. Kuminga, same concept, really attacked really well, but also hit a lot of threes. I'm not really ready to bet on his points. The boards look good. He had 13 chances in 33 minutes. That's what they want him to do, is like, you need to start assisting and rebounding. And he did that, right? 6 potentials turned into 6 assists. So let's not go crazy here and be like, oh, he's going to get 4 a game or something crazy like that. But for Kuminga, if you're following what I'm saying here, I know I'm all over the place with him. Rebounds and assists. I like him in general. So PRA doesn't scare me, but I was so impressed with him in this last game and the way he was composed and bringing it on both ends of the floor. I like the RA a lot at 7.5. I think that's a very, very beatable number for a guy who they've said they really want to get involved in the passing and then distributing game, if you will. Pass game is what I was going to say. I got the NFL in my mind. So I don't have much for the other guys here. Your Buddy Hield is 10.5 is always going to be fair for him. He hit his threes, so he got his points, right? 5 for 10. You might as well be taking threes with Buddy. They're at 2.5 now. You can't get plus money anymore like in the first game, but 10 of his 11 shots are threes. That's what they want him to do. That's what I'd be betting. Everybody else, I'm kind of good on. And I do need to know, it looks like Jokic might actually be officially good to go. Maybe these tags got taken off of these guys while I'm talking. They're all officially good to go. That clearly, if they are good to go because these tags are taken down, that happened as I was recording. I'm not stopping and starting over. But either way, I do like Christian Braun. This is my favorite bet. Points, P or PR. That's what I like for him too. I think we're still at 4. Yes, 4.5. Perfect. So I do like this for him. PRA. I like all of it. I think he's going to be out there for like 33, 34 minutes a night. It's when they need him, right? When they can sort of help, not necessarily need him as much in games they're blowing teams out. That makes sense. But I think the points are definitely there. If you want to add the boards, I'm good with it at 4.5. I think for the season, these are normally going to be at 5.5. Like you can see Caesars has it at 5.5. I think that's going to be the norm, but because he's chasing Steph around the floor all game, they've lowered his, that is the angle here to keep his props low at 4.5 for the rebounds. You're not as likely to get boards if you're focused on chasing Steph Curry around and standing really far from the basket to make sure that he doesn't take easy threes, right? So, rebounds, maybe not the best matchup for it, but I think the PR or PRA, I'm good with all of it. I just think the usage and everything is going to be there for him in a way that he's now essentially like the third most important player on offense because he gets them out into transition and does things that really nobody else does. So like Christian Braun the most in this game, and I got to go back and see about the injury report to know exactly who's going to be playing in this game. But that is all the time I have for you guys in this one. Like I said, can't wait to show you guys the website. It is live. Go ahead and check it out. If you do want to get that free month, go ahead and hit me up after signing up for Novig. I'll get you the free month and help you get onto the site, get those projections, and get the bets we're putting down. So until I see y'all next, happy betting.